Peirce just lost the civil war in Unstable SMP because Wembu officially joined the Cindercrest army. But why did this happen? Well, at the end of Flamefrag's latest video, we saw that Cindercrest made an alliance with Arachnid, and we already know that Arachnid bought Eggchan using basically all of his loot. But the important part is what Arachnid said after buying Eggchan. He said he would force Wembu to fight for him, and that is exactly why Wembu ended up helping Cindercrest in the war. Now, let's go back to the beginning of the Civil War, because honestly, Peirce was actually doing really well at first. The war started when Cindercrest attacked Fort Feather. At first, it looked like Peirce had no chance because Cindercrest came with a massive army and a flying blimp. But Peirce secretly had a backup plan ready the entire time. Underneath Fort Feather, he built escape tunnels and hidden TNT traps. So while Cindercrest thought they had fully captured the city, Peirce activated the TNT and blew up a huge part of their army before escaping underground. Even though he technically lost Fort Feather, he still managed to damage Cindercrest badly. After taking Fort Feather, Cindercrest's next target became Merchant City, and this city was extremely important because it was basically one of the main entrances into Peirce's kingdom. If Cindercrest captured Merchant City too, their entire army could easily push deeper into the kingdom. So Peirce knew he had to defend it at all costs. Using the knowledge he gained from the Fort Feather attack, Peirce prepared specifically for the blimp strategy this time. He secretly built a machine designed to counter aerial attacks. And honestly, this is where Peirce showed how smart he really is. Because instead of directly fighting Cindercrest, he manipulated Saporata into walking directly into his trap. Peirce pretended to surrender, and Saporata fell for it. The moment Cindercrest arrived with the blimp and their soldiers jumped down into the city, Peirce activated an arrow railgun cannon hidden inside Merchant City. And within seconds, the entire sky turned into chaos. Thousands of arrows started flying everywhere, players were dying instantly, and most of the invading army got destroyed before they could even properly land. It was honestly one of the craziest traps in Unstable SMP. Because of that, Peirce successfully defended Merchant City, and Cindercrest was forced to retreat again. At this point, it actually looked like Peirce might win the Civil War, but then everything changed. After retreating, Saporata decided to make an alliance with Arachnid, and together, they planned their next attack on Highwater City. Now, this city was even more important than Merchant City because around 80% of the kingdom's food came from there. If Highwater fell, Peirce's entire army would slowly starve to death. So to defend the city, Peirce told peirce to build another machine to protect Highwater. And honestly, the defense worked perfectly at first. Peirce managed to hold the Cindercrest army on the bridge for a long time, buying enough time for the machine to fully activate. And when the actual attack started, the machine completely destroyed huge parts of the invading army. Peirce even managed to stop Shoebilly from reaching the machine, and for a moment, it looked like Cindercrest was finished. But then, Saporata made the craziest decision of the entire war. He sacrificed his own army just to destroy the machine, and somehow, it worked. After the machine was destroyed, only a few major players remained alive: Saporata, Shoebilly, Lomedy, Flamefrags, and a small number of soldiers. At that moment, it honestly looked like Peirce was about to finally win the battle. But then, everything changed again. A player suddenly came flying from the sky, and it was Wembu. Using orbital attacks, Wembu completely destroyed Peirce's entire army within minutes. Buildings exploded, players got wiped out instantly, and the entire battlefield turned into chaos. There was nothing Peirce could do. He was forced to retreat. And honestly, this was the moment the Civil War truly shifted in Cindercrest's favor. Because now Peirce is not just fighting Cindercrest anymore, he's fighting Wembu too. And after this defeat, things are looking horrible for Peirce. His army morale is at its lowest point. Most players are scared to fight Wembu, and his kingdom is slowly starting to fall apart. Now, Cindercrest's next target will most likely be Steampunk City, because if they capture Steampunk City, they can attack Capital City from every direction and completely collapse Peirce's kingdom. So now the question is, how does Peirce win from here? Well, there are three major possibilities. The first possibility is Clown Peirce. When Peirce went into the Nether earlier, we saw that Clown had built a massive army there. And if Peirce somehow convinces Clown Peirce to join the war, everything changes instantly. Because as we all know, Clown Peirce is one of the deadliest players in all of Minecraft. But why would Clown help Peirce? Simple. Clown Peirce is a businessman. Peirce could offer him loot, resources, or maybe even control over parts of the overworld in exchange for help. And if Clown agrees, then players like FairMC could also join the war, which would massively increase Peirce's chances of winning. The second possibility is Wembu himself. During the war, Peirce could realize that Wembu isn't actually fighting willingly. He's only fighting because Eggchan is being held hostage by Arachnid. And if Peirce figures that out, he could go on a mission to rescue Eggchan. If he succeeds, Wenbu immediately becomes free, and honestly, the side that has Wenbu almost automatically wins the war. So if Parrot manages to save Egg-chan and get Wenbu onto his side, the entire civil war flips instantly. And then there's the third possibility, Lomedy leaving Cindercrest. Because during the recent battles, it genuinely felt like Parrot was starting to convince Lomedy that Cindercrest might be wrong. And if Lomedy leaves, then Flamefrags leaves too. And Flamefrags joining Parrot's side would completely change the war, because Flame is literally known as the immortal demon. Now here's the crazy part. I honestly think all three of these things could happen in Parrot's next video. Clown Peirce joining the war, Wenbu getting freed, and Flamefrags switching sides. And if all of that actually happens, the Civil War finale could become the greatest Unstable SMP video ever made. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments, and if you want Parrot to win the war, make sure to hype this video and subscribe.